Reuben is a prominent figure in the Hebrew Scriptures, specifically known as the firstborn son of the patriarch Jacob, also called Israel, and Jacob's first wife, Leah. According to Jehovah's Witnesses, who rely on the Bible as their primary source of authority and insight, Reuben's life story carries moral lessons on loyalty, family responsibility, and God's standards of conduct. While the canonical Bible remains the central text, Jehovah's Witnesses also provide commentary and background information through resources such as the Insight on the Scriptures and various articles on jw.org. Below is a comprehensive overview of Reuben's life, his role in biblical history, and how he is understood within Jehovah's Witness teachings. Meaning of Reuben's name. The name, Reuben, Hebrew, meaning, a son, is believed to reflect Leah's relief and joy at having borne Jacob's first child. In Genesis chapter 29 verse 32, she states, "Because Jehovah has looked upon my affliction," further tying his name to God's acknowledgement of her distress. For Jehovah's Witnesses, who place strong emphasis on the meaning of biblical names, the idea that Jehovah has seen, or looked upon, underscores a theme of divine awareness and intervention. Family position and responsibilities. As Jacob's firstborn, Reuben would have naturally assumed leadership responsibilities over his younger siblings. Among Jehovah's Witnesses, a son's role as the firstborn in biblical times is often highlighted for its importance. It implied the birthright, which typically included a double inheritance, and a position of honor. However, the subsequent narrative shows that Reuben did not live up to these responsibilities. Notable events in Reuben's life. His attempt to rescue Joseph. One of Reuben's more admirable traits was his initial desire to protect his younger brother Joseph. According to Genesis chapter 37 verses 21 to 22, when Joseph's other brothers wanted to harm him, Reuben intervened, suggesting they throw Joseph into a water pit rather than kill him outright. The biblical account states that Reuben's intention was to return secretly to rescue Joseph later. This episode is often used by Jehovah's Witnesses to illustrate that even those who make serious mistakes, as Reuben did later, can display moments of courage or moral resolve. Serious transgression with Bilhah. Despite that commendable act, Reuben notoriously committed a grave sin. He slept with Bilhah, one of his father Jacob's concubines. Genesis chapter 35 verse 22. Jehovah's Witnesses view this as a serious violation of divine standards, an act that ultimately cost Reuben the rights and honors of the firstborn. According to 1 Chronicles chapter 5 verse 1, it was because of this transgression that Reuben forfeited his birthright, which was then passed on to Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. For Jehovah's Witnesses, this underscores how immoral actions can bring lasting consequences, even overshadowing any good a person may have done. Reconciliation and concern for family. When famine struck Canaan and Jacob's sons traveled to Egypt seeking grain, it was Reuben who attempted to guarantee Benjamin's safe return, going so far as to offer his own sons as a pledge of good faith. Genesis chapter 42 verse 37. This event highlights Reuben's deep concern for his family. Jehovah's Witnesses sometimes refer to this episode to show that despite serious failings, individuals can exhibit genuine remorse and a sense of responsibility, striving to do right by loved ones. Blessings and prophetic outcomes. Jacob, on his deathbed, pronounced blessings and prophetic statements for each of his sons. Genesis chapter 49. For Reuben, the message was both direct and chastising. Jacob declared that Reuben's instability had led him to lose his rightful position. Moses's blessings, Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 6, later invoked the desire for the tribe of Reuben to live and not die out. Jehovah's Witnesses understand these words to reflect God's balanced view of justice and mercy. Reuben faced consequences for his sin, yet his descendants were not erased from Israel's future. Tribal inheritance and legacy. The tribe of Reuben settled east of the Jordan River, near the Dead Sea. Numbers chapter 32. In the wilderness arrangement under Moses, Reuben's camp was placed alongside the tribes of Simeon and Gad on the south side of the tabernacle. While the tribe of Reuben never rose to the prominence one might have expected of the firstborn, it continued to have a role among the 12 tribes of Israel. Jehovah's Witnesses sometimes point out that this underlines how God's blessing can be tempered by one's personal choices. Reuben's legacy endured, but not as the leading tribe of Israel. Jehovah's Witnesses' reflections on Reuben. For Jehovah's Witnesses, the account of Reuben is a moral lesson. Firstborn status and responsibility. Reuben demonstrates that natural advantage or high standing, like being the eldest son, does not guarantee God's favor. Conduct and loyalty to divine principles matter more than inherited status. Seriousness of immorality. The Bilhah incident is often cited as a sobering reminder that a single act of immorality can drastically affect a person's standing before God and potentially alter their future. Repentance and partial restoration. While Reuben never fully regained the birthright, his later actions show a measure of repentance. He tried to safeguard Joseph and later Benjamin, suggesting a heartfelt attempt to rectify his mistakes. This is taken as an encouragement that, although repentance does not remove all consequences, God still recognizes efforts to do what's right. Further reading and study. Jehovah's Witnesses suggest consulting insight on the scriptures and articles on jw.org for additional commentary on Reuben's historical background, the context of his transgression, and the theological lessons derived from his story. Please share and like and please subscribe.